Wow, what a day. The WNBA season starts on Friday, and before that time, just like every other year, we hit a day or a couple of days before where there are waves and waves of people getting waived from their teams. In the WNBA, they can only be 144 players, 12 players on 12 teams, the 12, sometimes 11 on certain teams. And a lot of training camp rosters are well above that. And so they have to cut. And Destanni Henderson was unfortunately one of those players who got cut today. She's been waived from the Indiana Fever. Destanni was drafted by Indiana last year with the 8th pick in the second round. She was a part of this big rebuild that Indiana was trying to do, and they were trying to rebuild off the backs of rookies. They drafted Destanni Henderson alongside Queenie Egbo, Nalissa Smith, Emily Inser, and so on and so on. I think they drafted like 7 players last year, quite a bit, and of course waived a significant amount of those players. Destanni actually played okay last season, right? She is a short player, standing at 5'7", but she did a pretty okay job for the Fever last year. She started a couple games, and she averaged a total of 5.3 points a game and 2.5 assists. So not great stats, but also not bad stats either. And this year, I was really excited to see how she can improve from last year. And now we won't get a chance to see that. And you may be wondering what went wrong. Destanni Henderson had a great college career playing for Don Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks, even scoring 26 points in the championship game to beat UConn. She went from the heels of that to get drafted and had a okay season last year. And this season, I was very excited to see what she can do. Of course, that got derailed. And I want to talk about why I think she got cut. I think she got cut for a couple reasons. One, in her 2 preseason games, she just didn't play well. She just didn't, flat out did not play well. Against Chicago, I was actually at the game against Chicago. Henny just didn't really do anything. She played 12 minutes, scored 4 points, had 4 turnovers, 3 assists, 1 rebound. And it just didn't really seem like she fully felt comfortable in her role, bringing the ball up and whatnot. There were some times where I believe it was Dana Evans would do a full court press, and it just seemed like it was a bit of a struggle for Henny to kind of get up the court. Also, it just the offense just didn't flow at all when Henny was in. Not that it was flowing that much when she was out of the game, but it just didn't feel like Henny was fully comfortable with offense. There were some times where she was open and she didn't take the shot, or there were some decisions where I was like, oh, you should have passed it to this person, and she didn't do it. I thought she played bad in that game against Chicago, and the game against Dallas, she barely got in the game, so she didn't really have that much of an opportunity. She played 3 minutes and just had 1 rebound. Didn't score any points in that game. It just feels like, and this is a tough thing to say, and I don't come at me, Gamecock fans, but I think Destanni Henderson staying in America this past offseason hurt her ability to make this roster. A lot of WNBA players go overseas, and yes, it's a chance to make some more money, but it's also a chance to really develop. And she didn't do that. She stayed in the United States, and I think she just needs to grow more. She did okay last year. She would have done okay this year, but this year Indiana drafted Grace Berger, and I think Grace Berger has won Henny's spot from last season. It's not like Grace Berger has played excellent these 2 preseason games. She also didn't play very well, right? But she has a couple things going for her. She's a rookie from Indiana University. Indiana Fever is right down the road, basically. She's also a lot taller. Grace Berger is 6 foot tall. Destanni Henderson is 5'7". So that's a big difference. In terms of talent, I think Destanni is probably a better player than Grace Berger, but I think Grace Berger has way more upsides for Indiana. You get the fan perspective, and you also have the height perspective. And because Destanni Henderson wasn't leaps and bounds better than she was last year, at least according to these 2 games, it just, I think she kind of played herself out of a spot on the team, because Indiana kind of has the guard spots locked. You have Erica Wheeler, who was brought in and is just getting paid a ton of money this season for Indiana. You have Grace Berger, who also is a local factor. And I think Destanni Henderson, while she has talent, she just doesn't have enough to fit with this Indiana team. I think if she was leaps and bounds better in these 2 preseason games and like flat out outperformed Grace Berger, I think she would have had a chance. But because she was kind of even with Grace Berger, I think, to me, the weight goes to Grace because she has the height and she has the local fans. And that's truly what you need to really, really rebuild a team. And so, yeah, those are my thoughts about Destanni Henderson. I hope she does decide to go overseas and develop and get better. Or I hope she plays for Athletes Unlimited to just get better and get ready for next season. I do think it's kind of messed up that like the Indiana Fever's social team has really been doing a lot of like Henny related social content. And to me, it's always weird when it's just like a lot of that player and then all of a sudden they get cut. Especially because they just had media day, and I think they could have made this cut before media day. I think Indiana knew that they were going to cut Henny after the Chicago game. That's my opinion. I have no proof of that, but that is my opinion. I think they knew, but they still went along with having Henny participate in media day. And so, it is what it is. What do you all think about Destanni Henderson getting cut from the Indiana Fever? Do you think she should have stayed even though she didn't play well for these first 2 preseason games? What do you think about Grace Berger? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, a thing to note, Indiana right now stands at 14 players. They need to make 2 more cuts to get to 12. So 2 more cuts before Friday. Just keep an eye out on that and see who else might get cut. I think there's some bubble players who kind of are on the bubble right now for us possibly getting cut. We will see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and watch my other videos. I'm going to try to do a marathon of videos about all the players or all the notable players, I would say, who got cut. And I'm going to also do a massive video about the reason why all of these players are getting cut, and particularly my thoughts on possible roster expansion and or possible league expansion for teams. All right, that's the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, bye.